The sky was blue, clear, with a bright sun shining joyfully. Nobody expected that behind the mountains, the sky people were preparing very dark clouds, filled with thunder and lightning. It came all of a sudden, like a big surprise, a festival, a celebration. The sky became covered with giant clouds, taking over the sky in no time. They grew bigger and bigger and absorbed the space around them until only they were visible. A young man watched the scene in delight. He had been waiting for this moment since a long time. When the clouds started roaring, he stepped in the middle of an empty field. He planted himself there like a tree, with his arms reaching out to the clouds. At that moment, the clouds spitted out fire like dragons. The first drops reached the ground with heavy sounds, startling the birds, but not the young man. He was smiling while receiving the blessed water. While most of the clouds were partying by throwing lightning, thunder and rain over the land, 3 of them became curious at this strange fellow getting soaked. "Isn't it weird that this man stands out in the open during the storm?" said one of them. "Yes, very unusual. All human beings hide when we visit them," affirms another one. "Maybe he wants something from us," said the oldest cloud wisely. The 3 clouds came closer to the young man and completely enveloped him with their wet blanket weaved of cold drops. The young man started to smile some more. "Young man, what are you doing here? Don't you know the danger of staying under our lightning?" the wise cloud asked. "Please give it to me," replied the young man with joy. The clouds laughed at his request, but the wise one became very interested by such an unpredictable demand. "You might die if our lightning strikes you," he said calmly. "Please give it to me, so I can give it to others," said the young man with tears of gratitude in his eyes. The 3 clouds came together to discuss the matter. "We can't refuse his prayer," said one. "But he will for sure die if we exhaust it," said another one with deep concern. "We could be a bit mild with our power and just give a soft lightning to his life," said the wise cloud, knowing the difficulty of such action. The 3 of them agreed, unsure if this would work out. They all rose above the young man and prepared a mild lightning. It was not easy. They did their best to channel their power in a soft lightning, but when it came out of their mouth, it exploded like any other lightning, strong and merciless. The young man caught the lightning through his arms. It went down his body, and it felt like his head and his heart exploded. He instantly fell on the ground, motionless. The clouds were very worried. "I knew it. Our lightning is always fatal to human. There is no exception," said one of them sadly, while the others waited in silence for a sign of life from the young man, but nothing moved. "What to do now?" asked one of the clouds with sincere concern. "Let's take our thunder drum and beat close to his heart. It will for sure reanimate him." The wise cloud reached out to his thunder drum and started beating it in a specific rhythm. Though it looked totally absurd, the 2 other clouds came over with their drums and followed the rhythm. They drummed in harmony. Such delicate and musical thunders were never heard before. In the animal kingdom, everybody was wondering what was happening. A courageous deer followed these mysterious thunders and arrived at the feet of the young man's body. He looked up at the clouds and saw 3 drums resonating with the thunder in their hearts. He put one of his legs on the young man's heart and started to beat it in the same rhythm. In no time, the heart of the young man was filled with life. His body shook and his eyes opened wide to meet 3 drums floating above him and a deer looking at him tenderly. "Am I dead?" he asked with a broken voice. The 3 clouds shedded some tears of joy over him. "He survived our lightning," said the wise cloud. "He is part of us now. We shall give him one of our drums," he said while bending over the young man to place with reverence his drum on him. The 3 clouds withdrew behind the mountains. The whole night they drummed and they sparked lightning to celebrate the birth of the first human amidst them. The deer supported the young man to stand up, and they both headed for the forest where they found shelter in a cave. It is in this way the first lightning healer was born. He would drum to call the deer spirit who reanimated him and to wake up the lightning he had received in his body from the 3 generous clouds. The lightning would shine in his heart and flow out of his hands like glowing energy. It healed people from their pain by replenishing their body and soul with the power of thunder, lightning and rain from the sky people.